Thank you very much, Hajia Asabe Vilita Bashir. Yes, she has prayed according to the Islamic faith, but I'd like to state categorically that in Nigeria, when we pray our prayers, Christian and Muslim, it is one faith, it is one call, it is one nation. And today that prayer speaks also for Africa and the African mother, because this is the prayer of the African mother. And with her prayers and the mother's prayers, we will do more than others. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to this auspicious, historic day, full of events that started yesterday with the General Assembly and with the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the African Union and the African First Ladies Peace Mission. But today is the product and expression of a resilient faith and dream that has come true. It is an edifice that began in 1996 as an aspiration for all African women through the office and the power, the voice and the legacy of African First Ladies. Today, it has come to a place, a fulcrum of distinctive presentation through Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Aisha Buhari. Please let's put our hands together celebrating her today. You don't just celebrate her as First Lady, she is also the President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission and the emerging new Chairman of the Board of the African First Ladies Peace Mission all across Africa. Up until May 29th, she remains in situ the President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. Today, once again, let's celebrate, congratulate her, because this edifice, like we said earlier, is the beginning of a new descriptive location on Google Maps. Piwoi, Abuja, Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria, Africa. Once again, we congratulate you, Your Excellency. Her Excellency here today. We also have Her Excellency, the wife of His Excellency, the Vice President. Please help me appreciate Her Excellency, Dolapo Oshibajo. Her Excellency, the incoming First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Her Excellency, former First Lady and a very strong passionary for the African First Ladies Peace Mission herself, Mama P, Patience Goodluck Jonathan. We'd like to very properly honor their Excellencies, wives of First Ladies who are here today. And I begin first of all with the Vice President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission and the incoming new President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, Her Excellency Angeline Nda Yishimiye of Burundi. Second to her in this new capacity and office will be the Vice President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission beginning May 29th in the person of the First Lady Niger, Her Excellency Khadija Mambuke Bazoum. We'd like to honor and welcome Her Excellency First Lady Gambia, Her Excellency Fatoumata Barrow. Her Excellency First Lady Sao Tome and Principe, Fatima Villanova. Today we have the dual expression of Africa in the Vice President of Liberia, Her Excellency Joel Taylor. We'd like to properly honor all of the representations of their Excellencies, First Ladies of Africa who are here, Liberia, Congo DRC, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea. I would like to properly recognize them according to their names. Representing Her Excellency, the First Lady of Côte d'Ivoire, Mrs. Dominique Ouattara, is the Minister of Gender, Mrs. Tauri Naseneba. Representing Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Congo, Madame Sassou Nguesso Antoinette, is Madame Ngani Ines Nefer, also the Minister of Gender. Representing Her Excellency, the First Lady of Liberia, Her Excellency Madame Claire Ware, is the Ambassador to Nigeria, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, Dr. Alhassan Conte. Representing Her Excellency, the First Lady of Equatorial Guinea, Madame Constancia Mark Nane Okomo, is Mr. Monsieur Justino Obama, the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Welfare. We would like also to recognize and welcome the representative of Her Excellency, DRC, Damise Inyakeru Chi Shekedi, in the person of Madame Nathalie Domaine. Your Excellencies, First Ladies, you are all welcome, and our African mothers, we celebrate you in your first position of expression and intervention for the peace and security of Africa and her generations unborn. I continue with the protocols. Our distinguished recognitions now also extended. Extended to their Excellencies. From the Africa Union, who today represent the critical partnership for the expression of the vision and this intentional dream. Her Excellency, Benita Diop, AU Special Envoy for Women, Peace and Security. His Excellency, Ambassador Bankole, Commissioner, Political Affairs, Peace and Security of the African Union Commission. Her Excellency, Mama Africa, Joyce Banda, former President of the Republic of Malawi. Her Excellency, Catherine Samba Panza, former President of the Central African Republic. Excellency, Fumzilia Miambo, former Deputy President of South Africa and a UN Women frontline leader, we celebrate you and welcome you. Ambassador Rebecca Otengo, Ambassador of Uganda to Ethiopia, the AU and UNICA, and Chairperson of the AU Peace and Security for the month of May 2023. You are welcome. High Representative for Silencing the Guns, Mohammed Ibn Chambers of the Africa Union, Your Excellency, you are welcome. Ambassador Jainaba Jan, Ambassador of the Gambia to Ethiopia, the AU and UNECA, co-chair of the AU Group on Children Affected by Armed Conflict, you are welcome. Honorable Justice Efie Owur, member of the AU panel of the WISE and co-chair of FemWise Africa, you are welcome. Ms. Khalud Baguri, Ambassador for Youth for Peace for North Africa region, we welcome you. Please, let's put our hands together and celebrate all of the distinguished presence here. I'd like to use this opportunity to recognize all of the ambassadorial representations, diplomatic envoys, and all of the distinctive stakeholders of the African international global representations, the diaspora around the world here present for this historic commissioning of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. We would like to properly acknowledge as well Professor Shakat Ali Abdulrazak, Director, Africa Section, International Atomic Energy Commission. You are welcome, sir. We would also like to recognize here today the representative of the Director General of the NIA, His Excellency Ambassador A.O. Ibe. His Excellency Ali bin Ghaneri Al-Hajri, Ambassador of State of Qatar to Nigeria. You are welcome. At this point, the honorable ministers here present, we would like to very properly give our due acknowledgements. We have the honorable minister, host minister, the landlord of the Secretariat and headquarters, the Honorable Minister of the FCT. Please help me appreciate Alhaji Mohammed Bello. We'd like also to appreciate with us the representative of the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs in the person of Ambassador Ngozi Okeje. And Hajia Zainab Ahmad Shamsunat, our Honorable Minister of Finance. I must prevail on us today that because we're going to stand on all existing protocols, I'm trying to establish the fact that we have extended this to the greatest extreme extent of due recognitions for everyone in this room. I am constrained, however, and directed to break this to part 2. And before I do that, I must, however, make sure I properly acknowledge here with us also the wives of executive governors present, led by Her Excellency Maria Tambuwal, and I shall do the recognitions of Lagos, Edo, Yobe, and all of Kogi, and all of the representations here present, eventually, all of our women leaders. I will continue with the protocols, but please, for the purpose of extending this, I would like to respectfully ask that we stand on all existing protocols, to be continued by me once I'm able to come up to the microphone again. At this point, I would now like to invite to please come up for her opening remarks, Ms. Aisha Rimi, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Legal Matters.
Good morning, Your Excellencies here present. And as you know, well, if you don't know, Dai was my senior in secondary school, so she's given me instructions and I will stick to them. So it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all here today to the commissioning ceremony of the Permanent Secretariat of the African First Ladies Peace. As we gather here, we celebrate a significant milestone in the history of our organization. This state-of-the-art building, which you have all seen today, will serve as a physical representation of our commitment to peace building and security and its positive impact on our society. The Peace Mission, as some of you may be aware, was created in 1996 at the famous Women's Conference in Beijing by the then First Ladies of Nigeria, Gambia, Benin Republic, Uganda, Lesotho, and Burundi. Its mission was to create an organization where African First Ladies, as mothers and leaders in their respective countries, would provide a forum to support their husbands in the promotion of peace, security, and the preservation of our societies. It is common knowledge that majority of the victims of conflict are sadly women and children, who often end up widowed, orphaned, and generally displaced. Subsequently, it was unanimously agreed at the Congo Summit in 2008 that Abuja, Nigeria, would be the host country for the Permanent Secretariat in order for it to have a sustainable organization and resource center. And by the grace of God, We are standing here today in a most befitting ultra-modern building that has been built in just over 1 year under the visionary, thank you. Under the visionary leadership of its current president, Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Buhari, the First Lady of Nigeria. Over the last year and a half, the mission under the tenure of Mrs. Buhari has worked tirelessly to establish itself to properly pursue its main goal of promoting peace and stability across our region and beyond, and also tackling the challenges of insecurity, humanitarian issues, and conflict. As we commission the Secretariat today, we are confident that the building will not only provide the peace mission with modern office space, but it will also serve as a hub for collaboration, learning, dissemination of information, and innovation. We have lined up several speakers this morning, and yes, we are gender sensitive, as you can see, who will share with you their thoughts on women, peace, and security, the effects of conflict on our dear continent, and especially as this pertains to women and children. They will share ideas on how we can manage fragile situations and successfully promote peace and security across Africa. I would therefore not like to preempt our esteemed speakers, but want to thank all of you here present for making the time to join us as we witness what is truly an awe-inspiring and history-making event. Once again, I welcome you all and thank you.
Like she said, it's awe-inspiring. It's not just about the timeline, it's about the timing of the vision. There's nothing. Deputy Woman Leader, okay, of the APC, the Diaspora Commission, Chief Executive Abike Dabiri, and SSA to Mr. President on SDGs, Princess Adefunke Adefulere. We welcome all of these distinctive personalities, and we continue with the program right now. When Her Excellency stepped onto this stage, the curtain call was clearly one that placed her not just in the spotlight, but in a place of applause, not just for her person, but for the intentional will that has delivered for Africa and the First Ladies of Africa a commissioned dream. Today, as she shall be giving her speech, what we will hear is her heart, but more profoundly, we will hear her legacy. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Africa, welcome Mama Africa of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, whose joy today really knows no bounds. Her Excellency, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, the future assured, is here.
Very good morning to Her Excellency, the wife of the Vice President of Nigeria, to the Honorable Minister of FCT, who is our host, the Finance Minister, the First Lady of Burundi, Gambia, Niger, and Sao Tome, the Vice President of Liberia, the former First Lady of Nigeria, former President of Liberia, former President of Malawi, former President of Central Africa, former Vice President of South Africa, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Ambassador Bankole and his wonderful team, Madam Benita Diop, and AU Envoy, Mohammed Ibn Chambers of Silencing the Gun, governors' wives here present, wives of the service chiefs, Professor Shakut of IAEA, Professor Yusuf of Nigerian Atomic Energy Agency, DG of NCWD, Asabe Vilita, the DG of SDGs, the chairperson of Nigerian in Diaspora's Commission, the representatives of other first ladies of Liberia, Congo DRC, Congo Brazzaville, Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, the representatives of the service chiefs, ambassadors here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my singular honor and privilege to welcome my sisters, distinguished excellencies, and invited guests to Abuja, Nigeria. I particularly appreciate your presence to witness the formal commissioning of our permanent secretariat, which represents a remarkable milestone in the vision for our organization. I recall with a deep sense of gratitude how many of you in this auditorium have given me and the organization a helping hand in laying the foundation stone for this edifice. Exactly more than a year ago, in November 2021. Today's occasion is another testimony of our resources, which we failed to act on the warning signals and the structural cracks in their social pace and order. In fact, our sisters, first ladies in Chad and Mali, Mrs. Aminato Kaita, and that of Chad, Mrs. Hinda Debi, have sadly been widowed by the direct and indirect consequences of these conflicts. Can we have a 1 minute silence for their husbands, please? May their soul rest in peace. May God grant them eternal rest. As women leaders and mothers, our role in the area of peace and security is to continue to say no to the culture of structures of violence which push people to accept and unleash violence on innocent victims, the majority of whom are women and children. It goes without saying that if we are to have peace in our nations, towards the utilization of this edifice in order to harness the God-given talents and skill set of women and girls, to complement the efforts of our leaders in peace building, mediation, conflict resolution, and post-conflict reconstruction. I'm happy to report that we signed an MOU with the African Union, a multipurpose hall of 200 capacity, 150 capacity, and 100 capacity banquet halls. Lettable offices like 15, 20, and one of the offices will serve as a regional representative office, a library, and an African exhibition gallery, among others. And also under construction is an African village by the side of the building, inshallah. It's in progress. The African village will have shops for each African country for their goods and attires and what have you. And the upper part of the building will have a food court that will have restaurants of different cuisines from different African states. This building is located in the district reserved for academic institutions and research centers for the development of democracy, peace, and security. Again, I warmly welcome you to this turning point in the history of Aflpm Secretariat. Before I conclude, I would like to thank the construction company that worked tirelessly in order to make meet up with the deadline that forcefully given to them by me. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause for Her Excellency, the First Lady. Yes, indeed. The violent take by force is what my scripture and faith tells me. But violence does not have to be one that brings about destruction. It's one that has brought about construction of a new dream and infrastructure for Africa and for peace and security of our continent. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. One thing we heard yesterday is that this vision is not just about this, but Madame has also instituted what is a curriculum of peace and peace clubs for schools all across Africa. Another round of applause, please. And now we'll be taking remarks, and of course these remarks come as interventions that profile both the aspiration of peace and security, but more importantly, the channel of the Mothers of Africa, Africa's First Lady Pedigree Force. For the very first of those remarks, I invite His Excellency, Ambassador Bankole Adeoye, Commissioner for Politics, Peace and Security of the African Union. Congratulations, sir.
Excellencies, yesterday, Aisha Rimi said I was the only male, he for she, on the high table. Excellencies, permit me to specially welcome the Honorable Minister of FCT to join the he for she movement. Excellencies, I have a prepared statement, but I will likely not read it. First and foremost, Excellencies, you have made us extremely, superbly proud in the African Union. So today, 9th of May, we go into the annals of history, of Nigeria, of the African Union, of women movement, as a historic, special day. This edifice, to God be the glory, is superbly impressive for the African First Lady's Peace Mission, for the African Union, and for our continent, particularly women and children. Secondly, Excellencies, 27 years after the peace mission was established, yesterday, in just 2 months, the African Union signed a memorandum of understanding with the peace mission, giving institutional partnership and verve to your mandate. Thirdly, Excellencies, unlike some of our member states, the smooth transition from yourself as President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission to Our Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Burundi, is another testament that women continue to lead and pioneer and are pace setters for peace, progress, mediation on our continent. My job today, Excellencies, on behalf of His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, Chairperson of the African Union, is to salute all of you as women of substance. Women determined to implement the African Union Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. Only with women, the children, the youth, can we build this Africa we want. And this multi-purpose edifice is a testament to your determination, your vision, your zeal, your commitment, your passion, and your love for Africa. We are eternally grateful. And let me use this opportunity, with your permission, Excellencies, to call on every principal AU representative here present, because in Africa, we have to show where we are coming from. We are coming from Ethiopia, currently based in Ethiopia, referred to as a land of origins, the headquarters of a Pan-African organization, the home for 55 member states of the African Union. The vision of our leaders, from Tafawa Balewa to Kwame Nkrumah, for the birth of a united Africa. So we've come with a special gift, a gift that will commemorate this day, the 9th of May 2023, to show that Africa has come of age, because the peace mission is also coming of age. So with your permission, I would like to invite to the rostrum, with your permission, most respectfully, First Lady, Our Excellency, Madam Joyce Banda, Our Excellency, Special Envoy for Women, Peace and Security, Our Excellency, former Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa and distinguished member of the Panel of the Wise, Our Excellency, His Excellency, High Representative of Silencing the Guns, Chairperson of the African Union Peace and Security Council, Uganda, Co-Chair, Africa Platform on Children Affected by Armed Conflict, Honorable Justice Owu, Co-Chair of FEMWISE, and of course, former President of the Central African Republic. Please join me on the rostrum to collectively give a gift to our First Lady of Nigeria and of course President of the Africa First Ladies Peace Mission. Excellency, please, we would like to have you.
Well, there it is, a portrait and a gift from Africa to Mama Africa, from the African First.
First Lady of this great Federal Republic, Your Excellency, the incoming President of the Peace Mission, First Lady of Burundi, your Deputy First Lady of Niger, the wife of the Vice President of this country, my incoming First Lady, Madam Senator, our Commissioner at the African Union, my sister Binta, who is our gender envoy at the African Union. I wanted in a very special way to stand on all established protocols, forgive me. And I wanted to say this. We are the two former presidents that are female in this place. And we are talking about women's participation in leadership on the continent. And we would like to see us, as former presidents, treated equally as our male former presidents. And I said this because I want to address my sister, Catherine Panza, directly, because she might feel that she had been snubbed, but Madam First Lady, you tried to call her. You tried to look for her when we were taking photographs outside. I'm so sorry, my sister, that maybe protocol did not lead you to where the holding room, but the First Lady tried. I want to pay special tribute to my sister-in-law, Madam Patience Goodluck Jonathan. It was in 2013, I was serving in State House as head of state. I'm talking about a real head of state. When she called me and said, we are having a peace summit in Nigeria. Can you come as guest of honor? And I said, Madam First Lady, I don't have a First Lady. But it will be my greatest pleasure to bring to Abuja the first African first gentleman, who has been Malawi's Chief Justice, Attorney General, Minister of Justice, DPP, Chief Justice of Malawi and of Swaziland. But he has told me the greatest job he has enjoyed is that of being first gentleman. I traveled here and attended the summit. What I did not know is that how far, Madam Aisha Buhari, you would take this dream. You know, they say that the whole life, our life, is a classroom. We learn from the day we are born to the day we die. I came this time and I learned more. We are talking about maintaining peace on the continent of Africa. And the first person that has demonstrated this is Madam Aisha Buhari. Just look at how we are seated here in front. Madam Tinubu, my senator, is sitting there. Madam Patience Goodluck Jonathan is sitting there. Madam Osin Banjo, the vice president's wife, is sitting there. Madam Buhari is sitting there. There are places on this continent, their husbands could not be talking to one another. But the women are happily sitting here, have been hugging all night yesterday and today. What did I come to learn in Nigeria in this lifetime classroom is that women of Africa have decided that they are going to participate in maintaining peace, making peace and keeping peace. cannot even believe what I'm looking at. I am definitely amazed. I sat yesterday and looked at the clips. They were showing clips as we had dinner about your journey, Madam First Lady, of building this magnificent place. And it didn't happen while you were sitting at State House. You walked, you wore the helmet, you bent, you dug. Do you know what, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, another lesson that I've learned is that the African women have decided that they will work side by side with their brothers to maintain peace, to attain gender equality. We are not going to do it on our own. If that's what happens in other parts of the world, here in Africa, we engage our men, we respect our men, we work together with our men. A few months back, I was invited here to Nigeria for the groundbreaking ceremony of a post-trauma center by the Malay Defense Force. Madam Aisha Buhari, my sister Joel Taylor, we were all there. And she promised the president of DEPOA, my sister, I hope she's here. Oh, thank you. It's nice to see you again. Yeah. On that occasion, Madam Aisha Buhari was saying, we can do this. We can do this. And we can launch it before I leave State House. I didn't know you had another mammoth project like this one. So it was not going to be possible. What a pity. I thought I would be back to another excuse to come and eat a goose soup to launch that. I am so sure that your successors will support our ladies in the military to make sure that center is established. Madam Buhari, one thing that I've learned again is your energy. Your energy. Your energy. I've watched you work. You can work because it's a job. And you can work because you want to please people. But some of us who are 70 and above can see a person and know that this is coming from a place of love. This is commitment. My dear First Lady, what I have always said around the world is that leadership is a love affair. You must fall in love with the people you serve, and the people must fall in love with you. When that happens, you can't act it out. You wear a helmet, you go and bend, you go everywhere because you want it to happen. Your main interest is nothing else but to save Nigeria. I would like to hope that those of us who are going to continue with your legacy at this place will look particularly at the issue of prevention. We can go to stop wars, we can mediate, but me and my sister Pumizire, who is sitting behind me, this champion at the UN Women, and her sister there, they've been talking about inclusion. My sister Catherine Panza, we've been talking about including women in the peace processes. Distinguished gentlemen, I said we would engage you, so I'm engaging you once more. There is no way there is going to be peace in Africa if you leave us out. If you leave us out of the processes. Why? Because in the typical traditions, particularly in my country, while the chiefs are, the men are choosing the new chief and so on, the women are at the back in a caucus. Which one is the right one? So at the end of the day, the village will have a chief, but it is the women who chose it. So my dear brothers, we have a role to play. We must work together. This Africa is all we have. And what a rich continent. What a rich continent. We can be prudent. We can look at our resources. we can exploit them and make sure they benefit everybody in our country. We must write it down in our head that the resources, the minerals, and everything we have on the continent doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the people given by God. We must look at prevention because we see young Nigerian men flocking to South Africa, thinking South Africa there's opportunity. We see Malawian men living in Malawi, going to Nigeria, thinking there are opportunities in Nigeria. Our boys are all over Africa. Our boys are drowning in the Mediterranean. Our boys are being killed everywhere. When they get to South Africa, they find, even the boys in South Africa are frustrated. There are no opportunities. When they go to Malawi, west. So now, my point is, leaders on the continent, I'm calling upon my brothers and my sisters that are sitting in State House. It's up to us to create opportunities for the people we lead so that they don't leave our countries. They are killing one another because they believe, these ones have come to take our opportunity. But Nigerians, when they go to South Africa, now South Africans too are crying. When Malawians come to Lagos, Nigerians too are crying. It is up to us to create opportunities. We are rich and we have the resources to do that with. We just need to have the right pilots sitting in the driver's seat to make sure that the young people that are crying are being held. We are listening to them. Why? Because that is the greatest source of conflict. I bring greetings from Sadiq as an envoy, on the panel of elders. And what we are saying, there's no other center like this one. There has been so much money that has gone into the investment. We must all own it, and we must all use it. This issue of, it's a West African thing. It's an East African thing. We are wasting our time. This Africa, these ladies have worked so hard to make this happen. Therefore, all first ladies, including mine, by the way, she sent greetings to you, must access this place, must come here, must be part of what is going on here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to say that there's an elephant in the room. Our leaders, our countries are working day and night to revive our economies against all odds. Then we sit there, and then we see floods, and we see cyclones, and we see droughts. In Malawi alone, on the 11th of March, as clever as I am, rendered useless standing there, watching my fellow Malawians swept away by water, a whole village gone. I met this woman, I said, tell me your story. She says, Mom, I went to the toilet. When I came back, my husband and my 5 children were gone. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, climate change is real. My anger stems from the fact that we did not cause this climate crisis as Africa. Somebody did. So what I am saying, as the goodwill ambassador for climate justice, Pan-African, I am saying, those who caused the climate crisis, and those of us who are the victims, time has come when we must work together to address this problem. I have looked at the people that died. Some of it was ignorance. Water had come a year ago and swept away one child. The city came and said, don't build here, because this place is prone. These are villagers who don't know any better. So they went ahead and built. The next one this year when it came, everybody along the way, 40 bodies were buried in one day. What am I saying? I didn't see one person like me who died. What does that mean? Poor people, innocent people who don't know, who industrialized, who caused the climate change to die and suffer. Therefore, I have teamed up, and we all must do that across Africa with the people that caused it. The people that caused the climate crisis. With us, work together to make sure that our people are being serviced, are being supported, are being given opportunities, are being given training. I had a meeting last night with your organization here that looks at the preparedness, and I was amazed at what you have been able to achieve. So our African countries must help one another, train one another, support one another. My First Lady, may I wish you God's blessings, and may I ask that this place should be all-inclusive. You should look at financial inclusion, digital inclusion, you should look at food security, you should look at preventing crisis, conflict. For me, you can count on me, my distinguished First Ladies, that you have a partner in me. May God bless you all.
Thank you. Mama, 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 Africa, if you're sitting down, you are in the wrong position. Sweet mother, we not go forget you for the talk where you talk to us today. Oh, another round of applause. She has spoken as a mother. She has spoken as a leader. She has spoken from the womb of Africa, a matriarch even for that which is a legacy going forward. She has given attention and spotlight to those things that only a mother sees when she celebrates and raises that which is the hope, the dream, and the expression of her child to another level of dynamic, distinctive representation. Mommy, Your Excellency, Dr. Joyce Banda, thank you for the words of wisdom and words of profound expression. Leadership is a love affair. We fall in love with the people, and the people fall in love with you. Those words demand a presidential response. And that presidential response is coming from none other than the president of the African First Ladies Peace Mission herself, breaking all protocol and establishing a new. Please let's welcome Her Excellency as she will be giving a responsorial appreciation.
Hello, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I would like to commend the former First Lady of Malawi for her words of wisdom. The former president of Malawi. Thank you so much for thank you so much for your words of wisdom. And you wasn't there at the General Assembly yesterday, and also in the closed door meeting that we had. I have discussed with my sisters that the African First Ladies Peace Mission is 27 years old forum, but somehow, like about a decade ago, it wasn't that active. And having a deal with the peace and security is also part of my profession. And also, by listening to you now, already we have a 20-year forum that is called Organization of African First Ladies for Development. This is the SSA to the President on OFLAT. I wrote to Mr. Faki seeking for bringing us together in order to have one forum, because if I am interested in peace and security, another person should be on water and food security, another person should be on health or education, women development, women empowerment, youth development, entrepreneurship, and so on. So if only we can come together, we will achieve more and succeed more. I'm not yabbing the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, but I have been attending the meeting for the past 8 years. For 8 years now, we have never achieved anything. We always dress well, go and go to America, go to other countries, speak, have a meeting, chat among us, and go away. I'm not the type. I'm a little bit more productive. I cannot I cannot continue spending the federal government resources with my team to go to UN side event, discuss, and then go without anything, without any fruitful or tangible thing that can be taken back home. So from there, I decided that, okay, and at the same time, I wasn't feeling too well. I decided to cut off, like, roaming about, and I hate traveling, if not. And by what you have said now, and what I have discussed yesterday with my sisters, we need experienced, like somebody like you, a former president of Malawi. We have the vice president of Liberia, who is also a former first lady and current vice president of Liberia. And we have a former president of Central Africa, former vice president of South Africa. So according to the constitution of the peace mission, every legitimate government state of an African continent, the wife of the president is an automatic member of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. And for us to consolidate this secretariat and the headquarters, we decided to come up with a trustees that will consist all the former first ladies that are able and willing to help and support in maintaining peace and security in Africa to be a member. And also, you are an automatic member of the forum. All the former female presidents, the former female vice presidents, the former first ladies are automatic member of the trustees of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. We need to meet at least once in a year to advise the current first ladies. We don't want to disturb you people, but we need to meet once in a year or once in 18 months to review and then advise on a way forward once in a while. And for now, I remain the chairman or the chairperson of the trustees in the next 5 years in order to consolidate the organization. Thank you very much, and God bless. Also, Ambassador Bankole, we're relying on you to make sure that the two forums of the First Ladies will be merged together for the benefit of African women and children. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Please, another round of applause. Let's appreciate Her Excellency. Words fitly spoken are like apples of silver in a setting of gold, and Her Excellency has stated it, appreciated Mama Africa, and of course, given us a more extensive profiling of the interventions, not just for the now, but for the future. One of Nigeria's most celebrated songstresses is T.Y. Bello. She says the future is not there. The future is here. And it's here and it's now. And right now, in that same spirit of the future, we'd like to very properly invite to be seated former president of the Central African Republic. Please, madam, could you please come and be seated appropriately with your sister? Please, ma'am. Please, let's put our hands together and properly welcome Her Excellency, former president of the Central African Republic, co-chair of FemWise Africa, Catherine Samba Panza. Come on, let's put our hands together and appreciate her. Celebrate her humility. She wasn't offended with the protocol, not at all. Thank you, and thank you very much, Mama, for helping us to reorganize and realign our protocol and the seating in the room. Well, even as she's properly escorted to be seated, we receive her upstage. This is a spotlight location for all of Africa, as Mama Africa said it. This is a lifetime classroom. The lectures will go forth. You're welcome. Congratulations, now. We continue to celebrate you. We welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome you. She gave a speech yesterday at the cultural dinner hosted by Her Excellency, and it was a profound intervention as well for mothers and leaders, women of Africa, blending with the gentlemen of Africa. So having said that, at this point, it is good that we note it is a celebration for all. We'd now like to invite for the next remark His Excellency, the African Union High Representative for Silencing the Guns, His Excellency Ibn Chambers. Well, let's make it a more robust celebration. The he or she's are champions of Africa and expressions of first gentlemen.
Thank you very much. And observing all protocols as established, Her Excellency First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, distinguished and excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is always a singular honor for me to be back in Abuja, the city of Pan-Africanism and African Renaissance. Abuja has, throughout the African common actions, distinguished itself to be at the rendezvous. And as we gather here yet again, it is with great pride that I join to celebrate this notable success in strengthening the African First Ladies Peace Mission through the commissioning of this state-of-the-art headquarters of the mission. Allow me to take this opportunity to pay particular tribute to Her Excellency Dr. Aisha Buhari, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, for her leadership and special devotion to the realization of this edifice. Your Excellency, we would not be here commissioning this beautiful headquarters building without your firm commitment and indefatigable efforts. Well done, Madam. I'm confident the Secretariat will go a long way in strengthening activities and furthering the mission's objectives to enhance peace and security on the continent. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, across the continent, conflict and violence remain a painful daily reality. African peoples have suffered and continue to suffer from wars and violence. The essence of silencing the guns is based on the commitment of our heads of state and government to not bequeath to the next generation of Africans a continent that is in conflict. In 2013, our leaders expressed their determination to deal once and for all with the triggers and causes of conflict and violence on our continent, and to mobilize resources and persons to push forward the agenda of conflict prevention, conflict resolution, and post-conflict reconstruction. The aspiration for a better future for the entire continent, a continent at peace with itself and with the rest of the world, should inspire Africans from all walks of life and generate a widespread peace movement across the continent, in particular through meaningful participation and contribution of African citizens, not least African women and youth. Having an Africa in peace is the dream of each African, of each woman and each youth. I believe no African mother wants to see her child a victim of conflict, nor would she like to see him or her as a perpetrator of violence and conflict. It is in this regard that we should be proud of the efforts of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, the efforts that they have undertaken and continue to undertake towards the realization of a peaceful and secure continent, as outlined in the Silencing the Guns agenda. The mission's interventions in the prevention and countering of violent extremism, mediation, participation in transformation of economic opportunities to counter poverty, as well as complementary efforts to post-conflict reconstruction are laudable and go a long way to keep the continent free from violent conflicts. First ladies constitute a model to follow for many African women and young African girls. Therefore, the role of the African First Ladies to revitalize Pan-Africanism and African Renaissance is of great importance to the African common promise of a conflict-free Africa, to show by personal example their commitment to peace. Women and children, for instance, constitute more than 80% of the 40 million refugees and internally displaced persons worldwide, according to available data. And UNICEF has just informed us that since the fighting in Sudan on April 15 between the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces, at least 190 children have been killed and 1,700 injured. More than 100,000 Sudanese have fled the country, most of them women and children. The Silencing the Guns by 2030 initiative highlights the significance of women's protection as well as their participation in Africa's peace processes for the attainment of sustainable peace. While gender imbalances in conflict prevention still exist, we're committed to developing gender-responsive mechanisms that contribute more effectively to dialogue-centered conflict prevention, resolution, and management. The AU Master Roadmap on Silencing the Guns addresses fundamental aspects of gender-responsive interventions in silencing the guns, including addressing the root causes of gender-based violence, especially violence against women and children, promoting gender-responsive interventions in small arms control, including women's participation and leadership in arms control, promoting women's involvement in security sector reforms, SSR, and DDR initiatives in order to achieve sustainable security, promoting women and youth participation in decision-making, both at the grassroots and national levels, promoting interventions for women and youth economic empowerment to enhance livelihoods and reduce poverty, which is a driver of violent conflict, scaling up women's active participation in peace processes because women in conflict-affected areas continue to play a central role in negotiations, lobbying, and advocating for peace. Let us remove all obstacles to women's empowerment and involvement in peacemaking and peace building. As the saying goes, when you empower a woman, you empower a family, a community, a nation, and indeed the entire African continent. We remain committed to working with organizations and institutions such as the African First Ladies Peace Mission to elevate women's effective empowerment to take their full responsibility in the transformation of our continent. As I conclude my remarks, I would like to once again congratulate Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, for the milestones so far realized by this esteemed organization. Allow me to also congratulate the new executive of the Aflpm in the presence of the incoming president, the First Lady of Burundi, and the incoming Vice President, First Lady of Niger. We wish them successes during their tenure. As you work to silencing the guns in Africa, I can assure you of the unwavering support of the African Union, particularly as an MOU has just been signed by Commissioner Bankole and the President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, this MOU will be given meaning in the strong support that you can continue to expect from the African Union. Thank you.
Another round of applause, please. Appreciate His Excellency, the AU High Representative, for silencing the guns and, dare I say, giving voice to the mothers, Her Excellencies, First Ladies of Africa, His Excellency Ibn Chambers. Thank you. At this point, I'd now like to invite for the next remark, very quickly, the representative of the ADB chairperson in the person of the DG of the AFD, the African Development Bank, Dr. Lamin Barrow. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and President of the Aflpm, Your Excellencies, the First Ladies of other African countries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on already established protocol, and let me also convey the apologies of President Adesina for not being able to be physically present here with you due to pressing prior commitments. So I read his speech. I wish to congratulate you today on the official commissioning of the ultra-modern, aesthetically beautiful, and strategically important African First Ladies Peace Missions headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. I commend you, Your Excellency, Dr. Aisha Buhari, for your visionary leadership, drive, and dedication, which have enabled the construction of this magnificent edifice within barely just over 12 months. Well done, Your Excellency. This building is emblematic of the critical leadership role of African First Ladies in fostering peace in Africa. Nothing works without peace and security, and there cannot be development without peace and security. Yet, many parts of Africa are facing huge security challenges from conflicts and wars. Today, 85% of Africans are living either in or close by a country that is in conflict. Africa is tired of wars. Africa is tired of conflicts. That is why I strongly support the African Union's clarion call for silencing the guns. That's because women and children are disproportionately affected by wars and conflict. Women refugees suffer from sexual assaults, violence, brutality, and criminality. We hear of the horrors of peacekeepers harassing and sexually assaulting women, and their voices are often silenced by those who are supposed to protect them. Men make wars, but women make peace. Women must therefore be included in peacemaking, peace building, conflict resolution, and reconstruction efforts. Sexually based violence, abductions, forced conscriptions, and human trafficking against women must end. Women's voices must never be silenced. The African First Ladies are critical in the efforts of African leaders and the African Union in ensuring a peaceful and secure Africa by 2063. Your focus on addressing violence, promoting the role of women, fostering a culture of peace, and reducing conflict are truly commendable. We have a collective responsibility to stand united in our efforts to resolve conflicts, break cycles of violence, and combat fragility. We must recognize that there is a strong link between security, investment, growth, and development. That is why the African Development Bank Group is working together with the African Union to develop security index investment bonds, which will help to mobilize resources for addressing the root causes of instability, protecting investments and livelihoods, and rebuilding infrastructure in areas affected by conflict. The African Development Bank is also supporting vulnerable and internally displaced women in refugee camps across the Sahel region. The African First Ladies Peace Mission has an important role to play in addressing conflict and fragility and building resilience. The African Development Bank is ready to support your efforts, and we look forward to maintaining a strong partnership with your organization. Your Excellencies, together, let us champion the cause of peace across Africa. Together, let us redouble our efforts to support women in areas of fragility. From the halls of this worthy edifice, let the interventions and clarion calls for peace usher in new seasons of sustained stability, development, and prosperity across Africa. Let peace reign in every village, in every community, in every town, in every city, in every nation. Let peace reign from the Sahel to the Horn of Africa. And let peace reign from the north to the south, from the east to the west. Across Africa, let peace reign. Thank you for your leadership for peace. God bless you all. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause. Help me appreciate Dr. Lamin Barrow, Director General to Nigeria for the African Development Bank, and he has made a presentation on behalf of Professor Akinwumi Adesina. And of course, Africa is tired of wars, is tired of conflict. Let peace reign. Men make wars, but women make peace. To the peacemakers, the peace drivers here today, once again, another round of applause to their excellencies, the First Ladies of Africa, for this auspicious, deliberate, resilient intervention for the continent. I'd now like to invite you to please come up and give a very short but necessary remark today, representing His Excellency, the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mr. Geoffrey Onyema, is Ambassador Ngozi Ukeje. Could you please come up and very quickly give his remarks? Today is all about the integrated force, not of what is foreign, but indeed of what is African.
Thank you very much, the indefatigable MC. First of all, I would like to express and convey the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs' deepest regrets for not being able to be here physically, but he's a he for she, going by the UN parlance. Honorable Minister Onyema is a he for she, and compliment the efforts as Foreign Minister of Foreign Affairs to all the work that has been put in place since Beijing '95, And then Watershed has been marked today by the very hard work, the result of what Her Excellency Dr. Aisha Buhari, the First Lady of Nigeria, has been able to do today. So I just want to, I'm not giving a speech or written speech, but that the Honorable Minister would have loved to be here, but he called me at a very late hour to that I should come here because he couldn't be here, and that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs supports, complements the complementarity work that goes on to implement the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, including women in peace and conflict situations. And Nigeria women has also proved that Nigeria is implementing that national efforts, because the Nigerian women have already started, implementing this resolution 1325, and that is what this edifice is also going to monitor and bring to bear in the workings of the history that has been made today. So I just want to thank again Her Excellency Dr. Aisha Buhari, the African First Ladies here, for complementing the work of the Peace and Security Council, for ensuring that there will be less violence in coming up with issues affecting women, and that women have a voice, have a role to play alongside their husbands or spouses who in complementing the efforts of our heads of state in the African continent. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak on behalf of my Honorable Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Ngozi Okeje. And yes, indeed, having spoken not just for Africa, but spotlighting Nigeria and our own engagement and integrated commitment to that international representation for peace and security. And now, the landlord of the Federal Capital Territory and the landlord of this auspicious new Google Map address, the African First Ladies Peace Mission headquarters. Let us welcome the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello.
Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, former presidents here, Your Excellency, the incoming President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, who is also the First Lady of the Republic of Burundi, all the very distinguished First Ladies present here, our elder statesman, His Excellency Ibn Chambers, a very well-known lover of the city of Abuja, all the very distinguished ladies and gentlemen here. Quite frankly, Your Excellencies, after all the speeches of today and all what have been said, I don't have much to add, except to, on behalf of the city of Abuja and all its residents, to sincerely thank you for honoring the invitation of the First Lady to commissioning of what is no doubt a very iconic building in Abuja. We feel highly delighted and also very proud that the city of Abuja is hosting this project. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all those who worked very hard during the last 16 months or so to make sure that this is a reality. Many of them have worked behind the scenes, starting with Engineer Gambo Umar, the former executive secretary of the FCDA, who single-handedly, with a few staff, identified this location. When the First Lady indicated her desire to put up the headquarters, we were all very worried because, as far as I knew at that time, land was not available in this area. But somehow, they were able to get this 2.7 hectare land. And I want to commend the officials of the FCDA under the current executive secretary and the board members seated over there on the third row for the support to this project. They have worked tirelessly with the technical team from the office of the First Lady to make this a reality. Quite frankly, based on my experience in the city, I've never seen a project that was conceived, designed, funded, developed at such a high, fast pace than this project. And that's why I totally agree with Mama Africa when she said that the energy level of our First Lady is exceptional. Others who have worked tirelessly on this project are architect Ademo, the director of public building, and his team. And of course, the team from the contractors, A&K, who actually had to squeeze themselves to be able to make sure that this is delivered. And they are seated over there. They are part of one of the very important investors in Abuja, the Nadim Group. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is this project is a culmination of hard work by Africans for Africans. So it's very important that for all the ideals that the African First Lady's mission is established for, we should all work for this project. The first phase has been completed, and I assure you, Your Excellency, the team in the FCDA, even after I'm gone, and you are also gone as First Lady in the next 3 weeks, will work with the new president to make sure that all your vision for this project will come to pass. And finally, on behalf of the city of Abuja, I thank you all for honoring this invitation, and I hope that this edifice will truly be used for what it is meant for. This auditorium, the 3 halls, the 20 offices, and of course, the food court will all be available for all of us to use. And finally, I want to thank the technical staff of the Office of the First Lady and all those from our office, particularly Ms. Aisha Rimi, and all those who have worked, including our anchor, for the very beautiful work they have done. Quite frankly, Your Excellency, you have truly and without doubt put your mark in Abuja. And forever, the city of Abuja will be grateful to you. Thank you.
Mr. Minister, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello, please, another round of applause for our landlord. Yes, indeed, this is an iconic architectural representation of hope and the auspicious vision of our First Lady, the Mother Africa with energy. I'm glad to hear that, man, because many times people tell me, where does my energy come from? Excellency, I'm in the tribe. God bless you. So the truth is, excellence is never by chance. It's always by choice. It's intentional, it's resilient, and it's deliberate. And today, in the expression of all that is intentional, deliberate, and resilient, the team has already been celebrated. But again, I'm going to be inviting our Senior Special Advisor to Mr. President Legal, Aisha Rimi, who has led the dream team, to please come up and in giving this a flourish a vote of thanks, but also highlight some very critical accountability indices which Her Excellency has directed all ears should hear. Aisha Remy, please. And of course, I almost forgot this, sorry, Aisha. A very critical recognition here today. No, please wait. I'd like to appreciate the presence of the former AIG, C.K. Adiroti. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome, sir. And especially acknowledged here today. Thank you. Aisha, over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellencies, good afternoon again. So when I joined the First Lady's office, I was a lawyer. However, since that time, and she will tell you that anybody who works with her must learn from her. And her team are famously known as multitaskers. So I have gone from legal to engineering to construction. In fact, the other day they came and said, "Madam, somebody needs medical attention." I said, I draw the line. But we are known to be multitaskers, multifaceted, and and honestly, it is all thanks to her leadership, her direction, her focus, her zeal, and her confidence in us. When we started this just about a year ago, I said to her, I've been trying to build an outdoor kitchen. How are we going to do this? She said, "Don't you trust me?" So honestly, 1 year later that we're standing here is really incredible. So some of you here may have engineering or construction experience. So I'm just going to play one very quick game. Can anybody guess how much it cost to put this entire structure up, including an A&K? Don't worry, I will factor in inflation because we locked them down. But including equipment, furnishing, everything, development control, FCDA, please, the minister has spoken. We're coming back for more help. So can anybody just give me a wild guess, please, what they imagine this would have cost? I'm sorry, sir? B, with a B. Is that before or after currency? Okay, that's a very conservative estimate. $100 million, in Naira. And we use the parallel market. Okay, well, I think we managed resources very well because we got hit by inflation, currency fluctuations, currency swap, all of those things. But the building itself cost about 5.5 billion. Thank you. Top quality finishing and finishing. The furniture and the equipment were under 800 million Naira. And I'm not a beggar by choice, but I have to just say that we are actually still fundraising and still require the sum of about 3 billion Naira. A&K, I promised you a plug. We still need about 3 billion Naira to complete the African village. But it will be, like I said, a tourist attraction, revenue generating project, and also an educational and cultural center. So please, all well-meaning donors, supporters, friends, member states, the good people in this room present, please help us spread the word. It's all in the name of peace, security, women, and children. Thank you very much. But I think I should also acknowledge the rest of the team. Yes, please, Dr. Victoria Ogala, who is really a nephrologist. But Dr. Gurin. Dr. Gurin. Actually. Honorable Zoro, Al-Bashir, and who else? What? Saidu Suleiman. Edith, our head of protocol, who keeps us all in check at any given point. Thank you very much, everybody.
The round of applause for Aisha Rimi as the principal fundraiser here today. I think that was the quickest, fastest, most impactful fundraising pitch I have seen in a long time. Please put your hands together and help me appreciate her. Don't forget the figures. It's 3 billion that we're looking for to add on. However, you know what kind of risk it takes to tell people in the room to kind of guesstimate what it costs, and to do that, it has to take transparency. The other thing I'm sure you noticed was that her presentation and profiling of the entire experience was one that showed in Yoruba parlance, Omolo School. Yes, indeed, Olo School, OGQC, Queen's College Girls. We celebrate ourselves here. Pass on the torch, more brightly shining, because it is the earnest yearning not just of schoolgirls, but indeed of leadership as First Ladies to become the fuller expression of our dreams with our teams. Let's keep multitasking because we bring out the best in all the rest. So, you've heard it, and in hearing, we go forward. With the program, with the lunch and the departures here, the protocol very clearly is stated. Once their excellencies now rise, once we've done the national anthem, they will be escorted to the banquet hall of the Secretariat, the headquarters. We're then going to call out the groups that will follow them, and they will be escorted by protocol to that room. But right now, we'd like to respectfully ask, as we come to curtain call and a close of this official commissioning, please, once again, I would like to restate carefully that they would exit the room first, and they will be exiting from the rear, and then the announcement to be made, and protocol will guide our VIP to the banquet hall. Thank you very much. But right now, the national anthem. All across the nations and all around the world, women are longing to be free, no longer in the shadows, forced to stay behind, but side by side in true equality. Sing our song, for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never cease. Sing our song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace. Yes, indeed. Bravo. Thank you. Thank you. Celebrating all of Africa's women leaders, mothers, sisters, a full tribe of women in the force and in the field of creating legacy and growing great grace. Thank you. Right now, we're inviting to please join then, and you will be escorted appropriately with the FCT minister, the AU delegation, ambassadors, and representatives of the First Ladies, of course, the executive governor's wives here present, Yusuf Buhari, Mrs. Ndimi, and Mrs. Sharif, Alhaji Modi, and Alhaji Usman, representative of ADB as Dr. Lamin, and ECOWAS, wives of service chiefs, and the representatives of service chiefs here present, representative of the DGNIA, the former AIG, Adirante, and representative of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Somewhere, and you're searching for, found. Thank you.